Hello, hello, hello. This evening, this is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. And thank you for joining me once again. A lot going on this week. Just saying, just a lot going on. And what I would like to do is just go ahead and get the, formality out of the way. Let's hold on one second. Uh, let's talk about the subject matter. What's bringing us here? I talked about this before, and and something like this. When things like this happen, I will always connect it to something like trying to prove the existence of white privilege. Excuse me. And no doubt this is an example. But when I heard that this had happened, the not guilty verdict, or the acquittal, as they say, I really wasn't all that not only surprised, but I was kind of emotionless about it. I didn't really care all that much. I mean, aside from it being the usual, but there are some people that do care about it, and this is what I'm here to talk to. Here to talk about. I've heard various questions. You know, why are our people, and when I say our people, black people, melanated, African American, ADOS, foundational, whatever label you want to go with, why are our people concerned with the verdict of this trial? Why are any of our people upset? Now, don't get me wrong. Any unnecessary loss of human life, is bad. Let's say that. Let's say that. Any. But as a black man, I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm not very perturbed by Kyle Rittenhouse walking free. First of all, you guys have to understand there are plenty of Kyle Rittenhouses of all ages walking around this country. So to sit there and be super outraged about it, you must not have been paying that much attention. I'm just saying it's something that we should be used to. When you black in this country, you see that shit all the time. Why are we concerned about it? Here's what you guys don't understand, or some of you at least, because some of you are kind of like me. It's not doing very much to change your emotion. Here's what some of you don't understand. They are not going to do you any favors just by throwing one of theirs under the bus. Meaning that you could not expect white people to destroy one of their own on your behalf. This is what I keep telling our people while we're around here being destructive toward each other, which happens on a regular basis. This drama filled way of life and this volatile culture that we live in these days. You have to understand, and it's not that I want you to do how other groups do, or other groups should have anything to do with whatever we're doing. But they're self-preservationists as far as as far as I can tell. I mean, they go under the myth that, or it may not be such a myth that that this country is such a melting pot that their culture is going to be wiped out. What I try to tell our people is we need to worry more about ourselves than them. But that kind of falls on deaf ears at times, and that's okay because you're going to continue probably for the rest of your life unless there's some really really dramatic systemic change. You're going to keep seeing stuff like this. You're going to keep seeing more Kyle Rittenhouses walking free. You know, you ask yourself, oh, I was. Why can't we just see it for once? Oh, why can't we just see, a white person incarcerate a white person, them telling their own to, get in that fucking cell for the rest of your life because you're a murderer. Uh, you're asking a historically cultured, violent people to do this. And like I said, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. It's not going to work. We need to be more so worried about ourselves and what we seem to keep doing to each other. At any level, it ain't necessarily got to be always about the, oh, we just, black men just killing each other or whatever like that. It ain't got to be all that. I'm talking about like just basic things like our lack of unity, because group unity in other places seems to be working quite a bit. Shoot, y'all should have seen the fix that the fix was in from the beginning. The judge was like, "Oh, you can't refer to the people who got shot as victims. You can't do that. You can't refer to them as victims." Thus, using trigger words to sway the emotions of the public and the jury. But let's face it, what chance did the jury have anyway? Then the witness that the witness, I guess the one that survived, he was like, "Oh, shoot, this is kind of my fault." Yeah, cause see, here's the thing: you a stupid motherfucker to run up on somebody with a gun. Yeah, I'm so fucking sorry. You are a stupid motherfucker to run on somebody with a gun. I mean, if you got a bulletproof outfit on, I mean, and it's really bulletproof. I mean, hopefully he doesn't shoot you in the nuts. I mean, your nuts won't be gone, but still, that shit hurts. But outside of all of that, ain't no guarantees. That guy has a firearm. You're supposed to be going away from the guy with the firearm, not to the guy with the firearm. I think I've said this in the beginning. If you go try to fight somebody with a loaded weapon, you must want to die. Now, does it make it right? Does it make it right what Kyle Rittenhouse did deep down? Do you think his intentions were pure? If we're allowed to use such a word in case of this person, I know this person isn't perfect, but you know what, I'm not going to be one of these conservative African Americans that will sit up there and not only commend Kyle on his bravery and courage, but call well, I don't think it's bravery and courage, but say, let's quote fingers bravery and courage and call him a hero. Hey, I ain't caping for these white boys. I'm sorry. Nope. I don't care. I don't care if he was in the right or in the wrong, whatever. He's been acquitted. It is what it is. Like I said, it's plenty of Kyle Rittenhouses out here. You enraged that another one went free? What are you going to do about it? Nothing. Nothing. Just you don't go out there and do that shit. I mean, from the judge to just the whole setup, you knew that guy was going free. Ain't no use in being outraged. It's like being mad about this kid going free or the verdict or not expecting it. That's like going to a movie and you cheer and you laugh at the loudest at the scenes that you've already seen in the trailer. Why were you so surprised? Why were we all so outraged? Oh, there are reasons to be outraged. Deep down, as a black person, yeah, yes. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about some of the facts of all this. Let's not forget that this was a Jacob Blake protest. Jacob Blake, who was shot in the back several times by a police officer while he was reaching in the car. You would come to find out that Jacob Blake's ex-girlfriend or baby mama, whatever you want to call her, called the police, and there was a restraining order on Jacob Blake. So there were some issues there. But I've reported in a couple of news stories I've done on this channel about a couple of enraged white men that the cops handled very gingerly, and one of which where he gunned a couple of cops down because they were so soft with him. They're so quick on the draw with us. We understand that unless you've been under a rock for your whole entire life, or at least for the past few years. We know, yeah, I mean, it is always the case with young black men. We always have to be taught what not to do when cops are around. And Jacob Blake did a what not to do. You do not reach in your car, because they do the I fear for my life BS all the time. And it is, and like it or not, that has been very effective. Now let's talk about what happened with Kyle Rittenhouse. From what I originally said about this. Okay, hold on one second. I'd like for everybody to hit the like button as you walk in. And if it's your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. And let's have a sensible yet brutally honest conversation. All right. Yeah, I honestly do believe. Again. All right, let me give some shout outs in the chat. Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power. Big Kev is Hybrid Impact 80. Oh, God. Okay, I get you in a little bit. I'm listening. What's going on? Christian, Kyle did nothing wrong, no matter what color. Oh God, I don't want to hear this. If he weren't colored, whatever. I mean, what? I don't want to hear it. Shit. Color does factor in, man. I don't care what you say. Walk a mile in my shoes, and you're gonna want to jump back in your shoes in a heartbeat. Trust me on that. So I want to hear that shit. But just kind of hear me out. Everybody who watches this broadcast, kind of hear me out. All right. Yeah, is there such thing when you can gun people down, when you can gun people down and walk into a bunch of armed cops, high five, yeah, get thrown bottles of water? Do you think a black person could have survived that? No, couldn't have. Nope, not nearly, not near it. And I know that putting the two words together, white privilege, is sort of triggering, but I do believe that it exists to an extent, at some levels. Ain't no black man could have walked up on no cops after shooting what you perceive to be looters. Now, I will say this: Kyle Rittenhouse has the right to not want to be attacked like anybody else would. Don't attack. Don't run up on anyone with a loaded gun. That is stupid as fuck. I've already said that. This is what this but this is what people are talking about. the ability to be able to do that. We've seen plenty of videos on the internet where a black man can't even carry his gun in an open carry state. Dude be risking his life. He'll have his weapons confiscated. His face will be on the ground in no time. I mean, there's a such thing called the internet. You're not supposed to believe everything you see on the internet, but when you see things that are real, you can use them as reference points. So yeah, there is a color issue that everyone is trying to get away from, and I get it. I get it. Okay, Papa, no, Papa Nia Shelley. Facts are pointing towards self-defense. Period. Uh, yeah, I just said that. I just said that. People have the right to not want to be attacked. Should be. Now, should he have been there legally? That's another story. But hey, you know what? At the end of the day, the judge didn't give a damn about that. The jury didn't give a damn about it either. But this is what people are talking about with white privilege. A black man could not have survived this. Period. And you know what? I don't care because it's the usual. It's the normal. Now, let's talk about, the actual topic. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? Let me give you my fully fleshed out opinion on that. The possibility. Let's say in another universe that Kyle Rittenhouse was black. Kyle Rittenhouse would be dead. Kyle Ritt, like I said, that's one. That's one. He would be dead. A dude with a firearm approaching police officers? Nah, nah, nah. Black guy? No, 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 no. Nope. Mm-mm. Even if he had his hands up. You've had instances in this country where people have had their hands up and they still shoot them. What about the man helping the handicapped man? Cop shot him. He was sitting down on the ground and he had his hands up. Now, am I here to make a victim out of black people? No, I'm not. Just stating the obvious. But let's not talk about how they or the imposing group that you all like. We always come around to we want the quote unquote opposing group to slay their own on our behalf. What the fuck would we have done and we have said if there was a black man shooting at protesters on a Jacob Blake protest? Jacob Blake now, because Black Lives Matter. That's the protest now. They were out there in the first place. And some of them folks didn't have any fucking business out there. Like one of the guys who got shot who just happened to be the sex offender. So a lot of people would say, Kyle Rittenhouse kind of did us a favor. What I would say is, hey, you know what? If they ate each other, I don't give a fuck. Hey, less trouble for us. But yeah, he's gunned down. Do you think that really, with all the racial tension in the air and all the emotion, and I know there might be some pale faces present, but I don't care. We got some people around here broadcast by the hundreds, and that does way more embarrassing stuff than this channel will ever do. So just sit back and let's just be a little realistic at this time. black people would have thrown that guy away. And let me explain why. Because it was a Jacob Blake protest. A black guy gunning down Jacob Blake protesters. Even if he was being attacked, nobody would have gave a fuck. I'm just saying it. You can feel free to disagree with whatever I'm saying. I'm just giving you the real. If that had been a black guy, I don't think black people would have gotten behind him. Period. Dude's a sellout. He don't understand. He don't understand. The media would have immediately vilified the guy. Even if that information would have came out about the sex offender, they would have kind of suppressed that. Because see, we as a people, we and you know, it's okay for a black person to talk to black people about the some of the negativity and the hypocrisy that we bring upon ourselves on a day-to-day basis. It's okay to talk about it. Like I said, if a black guy would have shot up a Jacob Blake protest, what would have happened is the police would have moved in on him. They would have called him an errant shooter. He was shooting at peaceful protesters. The media would have spun it like a motherfucker. Believe that. And if it had came on CNN, guess what? 90% of black folks would have went for it. I mean, y'all know I'm telling the truth. Yeah, you'd have went for it. You'd have treated this dude like he was a maniac. Black Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, he could have had the exact same name. To a lot of black folks, he'd have been Kyle Rittenhouse, the nigga that tried to shoot up Jacob Blake protests. Shit, the media would have dropped this little gem in the story too. There were black women out there marching for black men. And this dude just, man, that's why black people can't have nothing. Can't have nice things. Boy, they'd have fuck black Kyle Rittenhouse up. Sorry about that. Not sorry. We wouldn't have gave a damn about that dude. That'd have been one and done. This broadcast would not have existed. I probably would have talked about it, in a news story or something when it happened. But this shit would have been buried quick. Am I wrong? You feel free to say it in the chat. Am I wrong? You'd have labeled this dude a sellout. Negro shot up the Jacob Blake protest. These women out here marching for these black men, and these black men would have just shooting up the protest and everything. Black women shouldn't do nothing for black men. The media would have destroyed black men. They would have used Black Kyle Rittenhouse to destroy black men. Trust me on that. Gearhead, yes, you are wrong. I doubt it, but okay, whatever. I mean, I mean, you sit there and think about it. Sit there and think about it. Oh, if it would have been, okay, it could have been spun as, I would say, if Black Kyle Rittenhouse was shooting up white people, and it could have been like, oh, he was shooting at white supremacists. But if you believe that WS exists in a police department, that shit's out there anyway. They would have ran up on him. They would have gunned him down. They would not have apprehended Black Kyle Rittenhouse. They would not have high fived Black Kyle Rittenhouse. They would not have thrown a bottle of water to Black Kyle Rittenhouse. It would not have happened. I'm sorry. He would have been dead. And they would have vilified him completely. The second they found anything on his criminal record, on the way out of a robbery, he bumped into a woman, and she stumbled upon traffic and got sideswiped by a car or something. See, you find something like that, and then you got these old conservative or these fair leaning black folks, like I like to call them. They're fair leaning because they're so fair. He was a criminal. He deserved it. Yeah, I mean, whatever. Whatever. Who would have empathized with Black Kyle Rittenhouse on the black side? Who would have empathized with that guy? I mean, people who empathize with Christopher Dorner probably. I would say. But I mean, I don't think that. I just really don't think that from the black community that if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, he would have gotten that much support because they would have spent it so fucking foul to the point where we would not have had the wherewithal to do our own research and found out what the actual case was. We would have thrown it away, and that would have been the end of it. And it's a shame because this is a general problem across the board with our people anyway. If you don't want to, I mean, and then when I say our people, I'm talking to blacks. I'm not talking to any other group of people. You go back and talk to your people. This is our conversation. But this is why a lot of us are angry. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, we know what would have happened. But this thing is like, is if everything points in the direction of self defense, and it wasn't right to put him in prison, then it's not the way. It just isn't. And if you really want me to be brutal about this, hey, why should I care about him? He shot white folks. I'm not saying don't be human, feel sorry for them people. Don't feel sorry for those people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't be a kind-hearted person. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying don't be human. But why should I care? You know how many black men out there that are dying in them streets that no one cares about? Like no one. And the narrative is obviously no one cares about them. Why should I care about them? Hell, everybody that dies, according to history, it was their time to go. Not that I wish death on people. I would never sink so low. But why should I be concerned? I am about as I mean, my condolences to the families that lost a loved one. But why should I invest human emotion into that? For everything that has happened to my people. Every fucking thing. Even what we do to ourselves. Because we often discuss that. Everybody acts like black people don't care about what black people do to each other. Yes, the fuck we do. Sometimes the conversation becomes too repetitive. But to care about this, I think that, we could just start putting our energies and focus toward other things. This is just another one in the books, y'all. We know what would happen if Kyle Rittenhouse was black. It did not want. It did not make me want to see them incarcerate Kyle Rittenhouse that much more because I knew I was not going to see it. I knew I wasn't going to see it. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. That kid wasn't going to jail. Not little Blue Lives Matter. No, he wasn't going to jail. No, he wasn't. And yes, like I said, we know what would happen if he was black. Just off chance that they did not gun him down, he'd have been found guilty. This country ain't fair, man. It ain't fair. Life ain't fair, but that's cool because that's just the way it is. The blues controlling me. Oh no, man. Like just kind of be careful with those little conspiracy theories that you guys try to, throw out there. YouTube doesn't like those. YouTube is very shaky about those. O.J. Simpson walked. He was black and he was guilty. Poop slap, poop slap. All right. Yeah, what a name. You get the gold star for the night. But see, here's the thing: I don't have any gold stars to hand out. And yeah, let me tell you something about O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was special. You know, he was one of those ones that was able to integrate successfully with a lot of you guys. Hybrid catastrophic impact. YouTube so sensitive. Okay, I get it, Pete. Pete R. We got to be careful about that too. I mean, you ain't got to, man. It's whatever. You ain't got to. I mean, you shoot. I mean, whatever happens, happens. But yeah. But let me get back to poop slap, poop slap. O.J. Simpson walked. He was black and he was guilty. And now you're saying Kyle took out the trash that night. Um, yeah, but see, here's the thing about OJ. OJ never really was free after that. I mean, of course, like he walked and like, were you there? Did you see him kill Nicole Brown Simpson and Ron Goldman? Did you see it? You seen him try to put on the glove. It didn't fit. Like I said, who were there to say he was guilty and who were there to say he wasn't? But at the same time, he got off of that trial. But he still spent time in prison, though. For stealing his own stuff. He still spent time in prison. They still tried to get him no matter what. That man ain't never at peace. So did O.J. Simpson really get away with it? Did Orenthal James Simpson really get away with it? Now, if you want to go by the trial, get away with what? He was found innocent. According to the court of law, he didn't do it. But did he truly get away with it, though? No, he didn't. Not in the eyes of society. When they put him in jail for that bullshit. That man spent a few years in prison. Kyle took out the trash that night. Man, y'all didn't know that man was y'all didn't know that man. That man didn't know he shot a pedo or not. Y'all didn't like. He said he shot a pedo. He shot a pedo. Did he know he was a pedo when he shot him? I was like, I'm just not like on the real big on the whole. Oh, they say he did not get away for steal. He did not get away for stealing things. No, it was like no. He spent time in prison for stealing his own stuff. It was like his own memorabilia. So that's what he went to prison for. He got off for murder. This is like it was. I mean, like it was one of the only cases where a black man actually got away with being accused of killing two white folks. And, I'm not saying it's right if he actually did it. But see, here's the thing with OJ Simpson. His lawyers told him after that trial to lay low. And he didn't want to lay low. And he kept opening his mouth. This man kept like that motherfucker kept making having speaking engagements about the shit. Didn't he write a book that said, "What if I did it?" But let's get back to Kyle Rittenhouse. OJ Robert Nelson. OJ wasn't guilty. Middle-aged man plus multiple footprints on the scene. Yeah, that's the kind of thing they like to keep from you. Like one thing that we understand about this American justice is that you are already guilty in the eyes of the media when you're accused, and especially when you're a black man. You're making it about race. Oh, you're making it about race. Look, as a black man, I had to be raised to be smart when dealing with the law and dealing with certain situations. Be very careful, Kev. Make sure your hands are always where they can see them. We were always taught that. You can never negate our experience. You can never negate our experience. And we understand with other groups of people and other races that the experience is different. Too much evidence around here. That's why y'all don't want. That's why a lot of you don't want. That's why a lot of you don't want your kids to learn about critical race theory, trying to hide their own history from them, because y'all don't want things to be about race. And don't worry, I'm not talking about just like non-blacks. I mean, a lot of black folks too. They don't want to deal with the matter of race anymore. Is it exactly right? Maybe in some cases because, like, I get it. You shouldn't use race to make excuses for a lack of progress that might very well be your own fault. Just to say, just to throw that out there. But I'm not going to ignore the fact that things have to be a certain way, and we as black men have to constantly adjust ourselves just so we can survive. We know we have to be smart. We know that, like I said, I know that I have to carry myself like I got some damn sense, or the likelihood of something bad happening to me, or me not making it through the day increases. I can't pull off Wild Bill shit like Kyle Rittenhouse did. I can't do it because I know at the end of the day, the possibility of me losing my life for doing it is great. So when we as black men, when we talk about shit like this, we're not dreaming this up. But for us as people, ain't no use in us being mad about it. That this happened in their camp. Let them be mad about it. The more and more we begin to worry about our own and what we do, the better off we'll be. We know we're in a situation. We always have understood and acknowledged that. Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be somewhere living his life right now, planning to planning to go to police academy when he gets out of high school, because his life was turned upside down. So, I mean, hey, it's whatever on that. Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty. Okay, and now sports. Here we go. Somebody, here, Kahana. Rittenhouse eliminated a pedophile, a woman, and woman beater abuser. None of those guys were black. Get the fuck out of here with that race BS. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me put this together because I always have snappy comebacks for this. I can use race if I fucking want to. That's number one. Stop being bitches about race. I don't care. You don't have my fucking experience. You don't. Life was a little bit more fair for you, obviously. But I deal with it from day to day. I don't go around making excuses. I carry myself accordingly. And if you had not been listening to me, motherfucker, I was saying that I don't fucking care. And it happens in their camp. Why the fuck should I care? If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, Kyle Rittenhouse would be fucking dead. And that is all there is to it. And for any of you to deny that truth right there, you're either cowardly or you're full of shit. Sorry, guy. Sorry. Mark Richmond. 12 people found Kyle innocent because in every video he was running for his life or defending himself once cornered. Thank you for your comments. Alright, Hybrid. I have seen a video with a black man surrounded by 10 officers. The black man was under the influence and had a knife. The police was yelling for him to drop the knife, but dude couldn't understand. They shot him. Yeah. Let's listen. Let me put it to you like this. It was obvious that that guy right there wasn't mindful that if he'd have had a fucking drinking straw in his hand and he would have yelled angrily at a police officer, that police officer would have probably put a bullet in him. D Rock Den, what's going on? And there he is, my habitual line stepper brother, Donnie, over there on YAS4W. Long live the habitual line steppers. Talking about what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black. You know, we got some detractors and disbelievers like the law would have just taken Kyle Rittenhouse in. Let's give you this bottle of water and high five you and arrest you with your single black mom the next day. No, motherfucker. No, it would not have gone down like that. Why would Kahana believe that if Kyle Rittenhouse was black with a firearm he just discharged, that he would have lived through that experience? You know why? Because the motherfucker's in deniability. Fuck out of here. Street Fighter 88. What's going on, man? What's up, Street Fighter 88? Shit. Discussing what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black. It would not have been good for either black people or white people on that end for black Kyle Rittenhouse. It wouldn't have. Like I said, let me explain it again. Black folks would have been mad that a black man shot up a Jacob Blake protest. They would have probably assumed he was a gang member. Even if black Kyle Rittenhouse was defending himself, the footage probably would have never gotten released. Like, what's his name was saying? There's camera angles everywhere. That he was just defending himself and he was running. I was like, all right, cool, but thanks for being his defense attorney. Kyle Rittenhouse would have gotten the gun down because first of all, he'd have been a black dude with a firearm. Remember John Crawford in Walmart? That motherfucker had a BB gun. Some guy was like, oh, here goes the black guy with a loaded weapon. Please come in here and save all of us. They gunned John Crawford down. You think things would have been better for black Kyle Rittenhouse? Do you think? Put a 1 in the chat if you think things would have been better for black Kyle Rittenhouse. No, I just wanted to say put a one in the chat. Like that's all. Y'all ain't got to put a one in the chat. It's just, like I hear people always say, put a one in the chat. Like this is like, no, you ain't got to do that. Robert Nelson. As a collective of so-called black men, we know these court rulings. It just affirms we're not getting Kyle's treatment as men. Plus, the media hide footage never brought his father. uh, like I said, the media in themselves, the media will manipulate information. They will hide things. They will twist the narrative. And a lot of our people, they're just programmed to believe that all media that comes on TV and all narratives are pushed are just 100% credible. So, I mean, that's why you got a lot of people, a lot of um, people just running to defend them. I mean, just I'm trying to get y'all to think about this. I mean, we can be as fair about it as we want, but we're not getting that same fairness. We're not getting that return, and that's all I'm saying. I need to feel Brad 69. What's going on, Phil Brad? Indigenous TV, Brother Kev, self defense, especially on camera when it's so obvious, would be acquitted if he were black. I don't know. Those white men were trying to bash his head in and shoot him up. Kyle had a duty to kill them. Okay, let's say that you are 100% correct about Kyle Rittenhouse, white Kyle Rittenhouse. We can probably go back and forth all day about how black Kyle Rittenhouse would not have survived the encounter. I don't know, it just is too much evidence out there. When you are a black man with a gun, you are automatically viewed as a threat. The reason why all of those angles and all those videos came out of the incident was because it was white Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm just basing this on what I've observed in the past. Now, let's say I was wrong and all of the angles and video footage came out. Did the police that were standing right there that high five Kyle and gave him a bottle of water, could they have seen it from all of those angles? Granted, he would not have survived. Now, if he would have survived and all of that evidence came to light, then maybe you might have been right, Indigenous TV. If he would have lived long enough to stand trial. But it's just for me, I just don't believe that he'd have lived through it. Mark Richmond, great topic. I do agree that cops would think Black Kyle was a gangster, but why? That's the real topic. Why do police react differently to a black with a gun over a white with a gun? I am going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say racial. uh, Viscount Lavelle, the black Jal Rittenhouse, would have never seen a trial. He would have been killed on the spot that night. Yeah, there's some people out there that think that. And like I said, that's why a lot of people were mad about Kyle Rittenhouse. That's why a lot of people were mad because they feel like if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, he would be dead. But and a small part of us did not want to see Kyle Rittenhouse walk free. But it ain't about what we want, people. It's not about what we want. It's never been about what we want. Even with these guys, even with the cops like Darren Wilson and Michael Brelow, even with guys like that. But thank you for the super chat, Viscount. Robert Nelson, notice how the media humanized Kyle. If he was black, his mother would have been brought up on charges as well. Because I mean, like the illegal stuff, they said that he should not have been in possession. He was carried across state lines. He was a minor. You know, all of that would have taken on a different complexity. Indigenous TV, your body's your property. Correct. Kyle, black or white, was justified whether those men walked up on him outside his house or or at a protest. All love, Kev, salute. Like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you. I did say earlier in this broadcast, you should have the right to not want to be attacked. You should have the right to defend yourself. And a lot of black people are saying, look, we're just asking for the same respect. That's it. We're just asking for the same. We're just asking for the same humanization. But by now, it doesn't seem like we're gonna get it. So, Indigenous TV. Whenever your private property, body, or home is violated by way of potential deadly harm, you have the right to neutralize that threat. Correct. I 100% agree with that. I will not argue with that. Disregard my follow up, Kev. LOL. Okay. All right. All right. Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just. I mean, it's like I'm just. I would say that it's the bias in me. I will admit the bias that does not want to make me champion to Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, but it sounds like what a lot of you guys are saying is that Kyle Rittenhouse actually got a fair shake. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that what I'm seeing? And you know that a lot of you believe that Kyle Rittenhouse actually got a fair shake in this trial, for being found not guilty on all counts, and it was only fair and it was only right because he was defending himself. You know, I did not come here to say that Kyle Rittenhouse should be incarcerated. I did not say that. I did not come here to say that Kyle Rittenhouse should be in prison right now. I'm not saying that. Actually, a fair shake would have not been would have been not going to trial in the first place. You know, I thought about that when I was saying that. I was like, somebody's going to say that, but you know, all right. I mean, for real, no bullshit, no cap. Yeah, but yeah, I'm sure there's a lot. Like I said, I'm sure there's a lot of different feelings on this. I'm sure there's a lot of emotion on this, but facts versus emotion, facts always wins. Uh, Mark Richmond, I guess what I am asking. I grew up in Memphis and knew black cops. I don't think they were racist, but their experience with blacks with guns were different from whites with guns. Hmm. Their experience was different from blacks with guns and with whites with guns. What are you saying that the blacks with guns would shoot at the cop, shoot at the black cops? I mean, just explain. Just go a little further into it, because I don't, you know, I don't. I want to know exactly what you're saying. Uh, just kind of elaborate a little bit. Just kind of explain what you mean by that. Said, let me see if I can kind of. He said, I guess what I am asking. I grew up in Memphis and knew black cops. I don't think they were racist, but their experience with blacks with guns was different than whites with guns. Royal class black men are not victims. They have never come together for anti-black male hate bill. Black men, defend yourself. Start walking the street with your ARs. Hey, every time, let me put it to you like this: every time black men come together, they come together for an anti-black bill. I mean, anti-black hate bill, not anti-black bill, an anti-black hate bill, which includes everyone, not just black men, not just black women, black children. And I mean, like, we've had various black people, black men and black women, that have seeked things such as that in that context. We just have not gotten it yet. So I wouldn't go as far to say that black men have never fought for this. I wouldn't say that. I mean, we have done it in different forms. It's just that it is not. We have to come to the realization that that's not on the priority list. I would say that. Robin Nelson, plus by law in the state of Wisconsin to be able to purchase a firearm is 21, yet he was 17. Royal class. Look, I'm not gonna do a back and forth, but this is talking about some gotcha, whatever. But I will agree that black men are not victims per se, as far as victimizing ourselves, but neither are black women, as I would say. When I would say the civil rights movement, black men pushed for the human rights of black people. Sorry, whenever we lead a movement, we fight for everyone. Whenever anyone else leads a movement, they fight for themselves. The alphabet people who are black, I mean, shit, they're the ones that's always like, oh, our gay lives matter. They have to put the two together because, hey, quite frankly, they don't think being black is good enough. But hey, that's just I'm just kind of throwing that out there. Oh, got you, meaning I understand. Okay, roll class. Okay, didn't mean to be smug. Like I said, sometimes I can be wrong. I'm not a perfect human being. You know, I am black, which means that I do have reactive tendencies. Yeah. Uh, Indigenous TV. A student, I believe it was, at James Madison University lied and said Kyle Rittenhouse killed two black men. Kev, when I heard it, that it made me want to throw up the blatant lies. Yeah, 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 yeah. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't do it. Like I said, that that fucks up the purity. Like, if there's any purity involved, that fucks up integrity. That fucks up the integrity of it. It is you don't have to say bullshit to sway the opinions in your direction. We got too much of that shit already. But okay, all right. So let's see. Let me check out the stream. See what we're doing here. 19 people watching. Let me check my likes real quick. And thanks everybody for participating in the chat. And one thing that I do appreciate about this channel is that people who participate in this chat is often mature. Excuse me, is often mature dialogue, and I do appreciate it. Y'all ain't about all that bullshit. Y'all know how to stay on task, stay on topic, and share your opinions in a very, mature way. So I appreciate that. Yeah, but all right, let's see what's going on here. Let's see. Oh my God, I have some dislikes. Hey, you know what though? This kind of subject matter will bring up some dislikes, but I'm sorry, guys. And even though this is a serious topic, you know what happens when I get a dislike on a broadcast.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
Why would anybody? Why would anybody dislike this? I mean, I guess y'all are disliking the fact that I guess y'all disliking the fact that I'm just really just telling what I believe what would happen if Kyle Rittenhouse was black. You know, I mean, I think some of you will jump to a knee jerk, but here's the thing. I'm actually against them hiding the dislikes. I think that's some bitch shit. I think like let me see my dislikes. Let me see what's really going on here. I mean, I don't have harsh words for people who hit dislike because hey, a lot of people believe if you dislike the broadcast, then I must be doing something right. I don't believe that. I just think that sometimes people are petty and it's whatever. But I like to do little videos about that kind of thing. Shoot, they all these show dislikes and let me see. God damn, 5 dislikes. Oh shit. 5 dislikes. I think that's cause for another one.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze. Damn.
All because of what? All because of what? Because I'm calling out the truth. Because I'm telling you guys the truth. But whatever. I'm gonna drop the link. Hybrid catastrophic impact 83rd X83rd power. People get sensitive when discussing these types of issues. Yeah, politics, religion, race. Yeah, those are hot button issues. Yes, they are. Politics, religion, race. Yeah, you're always gonna get a level of triggering when you yeah, and like also things like you know gender rights. Yeah, that kind of thing too. So yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't get real heated about anybody disliking the broadcast because I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that think that I just absolutely suck. But there's people out there that come to me each week and just kind of hang around with me and let me share what my point of view is on certain things. Indigenous TV, Kev, you pissing off the whole tips. What up, Judge Dre? Uh, he said morality cannot be legislated, but behavior can be regulated. Judicial decrees may not change the heart, but they can restrain the heartless. Martin Luther King Jr. Uh, all right, do this real quick. See what it is. Ninja Medic, this is basic judicial failure. I would have to say the judge. I mean, I will say as far as the judge go, trying to leverage everything. I would say that, but there are some people in the chat that would beg to differ. Hmm. Said jury nullification has been used for good and bad. Hmm. Yeah, but just like I said, when you get to this broadcast, just make sure that you are hitting the like button on the way in. Yeah, what's going on, Judge?
How's it going?
It's going, man. Just sharing my point of view on.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. I'm loving it this year. I'm loving it. I done predicted about 10 things, and all 10 of them done come true. I'm batting 1,000.
Oh, you betting 1,000?
Yep.
Okay, well,
And every motherfucker that told me, they're like, I remember I told everybody it was gonna be we gonna have a problem with the shipping, and it was gonna be lead morally because of the containers. Everybody told me I didn't know what I was talking about. I turned out to be right. I mean, maybe because in the type of field that I worked in with the auditor and then, tracking down people who used to do things that I used to do, you kind of you open your eyes up to a lot more things and you see 20 things going on at once and you kind of realize where the pitfalls are. But like like with this whole situation, if he was black, I'll go ahead and say they would have got him on a gun spec off. Like, say if the case was exactly the same, the only thing was he was black, and say he shot 3 black people instead of that. That's the only 2 things we changed. He still would have a black person would have got off with that information. Because I'll say like this, and if he didn't get off, it would be so much rioting, it would be not funny because it was too much video evidence out there proving his innocence. I mean, it was enough evidence out there. It's kind of like when we see these people get killed by the cops, and we be like, "Wait a minute, the video didn't show that he was being hostile like that." or anything. That cop didn't need to shoot that dude. So when we see that, it was enough evidence to say that the dude was it was self defense. Everybody's trying to find a technicality. Well, he shouldn't have been there. Still don't mean a damn thing. I mean, like this is one of the things that I hate about our justice system, that it works extremely well on that. I call it constellation charges. Just like, me, I'm a felon. I carry a weapon. Somebody goes to kill me, and I end up protecting myself and killing the person who tried to kill me. But I go to jail because I'm a felon in charge of possession of a weapon. But if I didn't have a weapon that day, I would have been dead. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's one of the problems that we have. I call it constellation. Well, we can't get you for that, so we're going to get you on a technicality. Well, no offense, dude. Yeah, I'll go ahead and serve my 3 years for my gun spec or whatever. But if I didn't have my gun, I would have been dead, and it would have been nothing. And I think that that's used extremely on black people, way more than anything. Because, in a perfect world, it would go, well, yeah, we understand, but we ain't really going digging for that. Because I mean, if you really want to dig hard enough, you can find a way to put everyone in jail. Everyone. I mean, we all are guilty of. We all commit felonies damn near monthly, easily. And you might sit up here and say what, but I mean, when you look at some of the laws and you see what a felony is, you'd be like, wow.
Man, I put this comment up by Papa Nia Shelley.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the NAACP president said the KR acquitter was worse than what happened to Emmett Till.
No.
Are
But
you
I think
what?
that this is the problem. This is the problem that's bothering me with black people. And we need to just, I mean, the only thing that you could say, okay, say fine, okay, he might have been friends with some people who were in parts of groups, but still that had nothing to do with this case. I mean, the man, it wasn't with black people. It wasn't. So people are sitting there, well, they were protesting for protecting for black rights. Yeah, but the dudes he shot were white. It was all white people between them. Now they're going, I mean, like they're trying, I watch the black people and I hear them talk out here, and it's bothering me because I watch these goody two shoes, as I call our dumb Negroes in charge, or want to be the spokesperson for the Negro League. I mean, when in plain and simple, you want to be the spokesperson, but y'all don't want to say nothing tough. Like one of the things they should have said, if you really wanted to, instead of just, but basically they didn't want to do that because that would be the end of the spokesperson time. They wouldn't be after the shit is taken care of. You're not needed anymore. So the spokespersons know what they're doing. They want to prolong the shit as long as possible because as long as they keep that shit, they're still relevant. Like say if I was one of the pro-black speakers and all like that, first thing when they said, "Oh, after the cops killed us and then lied and did all this," and they said, "Well, it's not a war on cops." They say they want the black people to come out and say it's not a war on cops. First thing I'd say, I'm not telling them that. Why is that? I'm not going to tell them that. I said because plain and simple, it would not be no war on cops if you were handling the shit in your precincts better yourself. Your cops shouldn't be out there killing nobody. It's the reason why, unfortunately, that white people run this country. I said white people run this country because they are not afraid to do whatever it takes to get what they want. The problem is, like I said, we in the manosphere, we know. We always sit up here and say, "Oh, it's like playing chess with a pigeon because they knocking over the pieces and shit." Well, they're not playing by no rules, but you try to. Oh, well, I mean, if a person uses violence, kill, murder, um, the locking people up for crimes they didn't do. I mean, if that's are tools in their arsenal against you, you have to sit here and think, well, how do I fight these people? I don't fight these people by the law, by obeying the law. I fight them without obeying the law because they don't care. You're not going to win. I mean, like, just give an example, Kevin. You say you own 90% of the world's gold. I own 5, right? You have
Oh,
90%. Are you going to give me 40% of your gold so that way I'm equal to you?
no.
No, now. How would I get? How would I have if I wanted that to be equal to you? What would I have to do?
Uh, there's many things you can do, but go ahead and explain.
But if I want to be equal to you, I'm going to have to take it. I'm going to have to make it to where either I'm going to have to do something to make you so uncomfortable that you want to share or whatever to change, but you ain't going to just give it to me out of the sake of just being nice. You're not. It's not going to happen.
Nah.
I mean, like I tell people, I said, you want to get a law change? People got to get hurt. I mean, they don't create rules just out of their blue. They would create rules when blood is shed, and to prevent more blood from being shed.
Yeah, let me read this super chat from Viscount Lavelle. Said this is my last super chat to this channel. Cash app from now on. Hashtag LLTHLS. Okay, appreciate it. I mean, and y'all can do it either way. You want to do hit me with a super chat, hit me with a super chat. You want to cash app the channel, cash app. I mean, cash app to
I mean,
is scrolling across the bottom of the screen. BMBBH for life. So there you go. But thank you for your support nonetheless.
I sit up here and laugh at like the protests and all like that. You've heard me say many a time. Not the first time I said it. Like they're sitting out here burning down buildings and stuff like that, and I say, oh no, don't call me for that. What do I say? I'm pretty sure you've heard me say, call me when it's time to what? Right? You already know. When it's time to crack some heads, that's when you call me.
Okay, yeah, yeah. I forgot you already
I'm
stated
like
you
this
that
because
kind of.
I don't like to hit inanimate objects. I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna like it's plain and simple. If I'm gonna sit up here and I'm gonna lose my life and freedom to make it so black people can be so that my children can have a better life, trust me, I'm gonna crack some skulls. I
Yeah,
mean, and
I
that's the reason.
understand.
That's the reason because I said, think about this. I mean, in this whole system, after all of this shit went down, nothing's changed. Nothing.
Nada,
I mean,
zilch.
like you sit up here and say, y'all put another president in office, this, that, and the other, and this motherfucker sit up here and made it gave the Chinese people because they were worried about the 1 year that these motherfuckers been talked about when black people been getting their ass beat, talked about, lynched, killed, robbed, raped for years. But yet these motherfuckers get called names for what? For maybe a year and a half because of this 19 thing. You know what I mean? And now you want
Yeah,
to sit up here and make it a hate crime? For real? For
yeah.
real?
That man. Yeah,
No
well,
offense. What gets me as a black man, it pissed me the fuck off. Because black people should have went the fuck off that day.
but we do. We are so tolerant and accepting when they shove things down our throats and in our face,
I
man.
told him, I said, I plain and simple. I'm a plain and simple. And I've already said it, and I've said it many times. I'm not one of those type of people. Just let a cop or one of these fools just push my son's head hard up against the car over some bullshit. I'll be waiting for you when you get home.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, like public gruesome. Matter of fact, I'll do it on live just to make sure. Because I want to make it to when you know that, wait a minute, I want the next cop to be sitting up there thinking he might know somebody like Dre. He might have a family member like Dre in the family. Do I want to handle? Do I want? Because see, this is the problem. You want to sit up here and put rules and regulations on the shit that you want to do. No. When you want to sit up here and fight and win, there are no rules. None. You have to be ready to do anything when somebody's trying to take your life and freedom. What's the difference? You might as well, in other words, you might as well just keep living on your knees then.
Yeah, don't live on your knees. I mean, you are like saying like I don't know. We're just a people that were broken down into living into a state of, I would say, submission,
Yeah.
so to
Right.
speak.
But I watch. But here's the question: how do you say? What gets me is how these dumbass people sit up here. I said like what? Because we talked had plenty of conversations. I'm like, oh, say my son was shot over some bullshit when it came out. They gave me $500 million. Wouldn't mean shit. First thing, that money's going into a trust. I ain't even gonna lie. This to be, especially right now, you know how I would say we're gonna flip on to bad Judge Dre now. You gave me $500 million and say the system killed my kid over bullshit, and then I watch other black kids. The $500 million would be spent on hurting people in the system. I'll just clean it up like that for YouTube. But the money would be spent on that. I mean, look,
Yeah, yeah. You
y'all
don't
just
want
let all these immigrants in the country.
to.
What would they do for a Klondike bar? You
Oh
know?
man. Oh man, dude.
I mean, what would they do for a
What?
Klondike bar?
I mean, why would they give you $500 million? You know, they gave you a gateway to efficient revenge.
Oh, I mean, no. Plain and simple is that's the reason why you think that. But see, this is the problem when I say when it comes to us, and especially you can tell that a lot of times when these awards are always handed out, they always hand it out to the mothers and stuff like that. That's proof that that's proof, black men, that your mothers don't love you because
Well, damn.
my mother loves me, and I don't give a fuck if it was if say the state killed me over some bullshit that I didn't do, and then they lied about it and they come to find out like that. All the money in the world would not stop my mother from getting her pound of flesh. All the money in the world would not stop her. Be plain and simple. You gonna sit up here and say, "Well, we're not gonna put the person in jail. We just gonna pay you." Come on, the person's not gonna have any charges brought up on them. Nothing. Oh no, you don't have to worry. You'll be in the ground somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree. You know,
I mean, all the money in the world. You could be like, well, Dre, yo, any audio family members will never have to work, and everybody who knew them wouldn't have. Still don't mean shit. You say that person is still gonna be in the ground. I mean, I ain't even gonna lie. Yeah, I gotta keep it clean for YouTube.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I agree about the whole keeping it clean for
All
you
the money
too.
in the, but see,
But what I'm about to say is, you know, I feel your sentiment. You know, I feel your sentiment. I mean, you know, you just ain't gonna sit there and think that shit. Oh, money doesn't make everything okay.
right,
I'll
no, it
say that.
doesn't. Not
Money.
plain and simple. If they now, what they should have done, the first thing I can see if they say, "Oh well, we found out this person." Like when you see how the system is set up, especially against, and it really doesn't matter on. I'll say this: from being in and out, processed in and out for the child support crap. So I've probably been around more prison and been processed in and out of jail probably at least damn near going on close to over 50 times. So like I've seen there's a lot of like people sit up here and say they don't do that to white people. Oh, they do they do like trump up the charges and just throw so many charges. I've seen plenty of white people when I was in jail, and they has had like some people after you be cool with them they'll let you read their paperwork, and you see like all the charges that they have, and you be like, God, dog, these motherfuckers just be reaching. And I think that that's what they do to just scare more people in the first place. Because, if they know they got a weak case, well, we can get you on a gun spec for saving your life with the gun you wasn't supposed to have. So we can give you 5 years for that. Protecting me. Well, I think that law needs to be adjusted and tweaked and rewritten. Like, hey, plain and simple. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to have that gun, but thank God I did that day because I'm alive. You shouldn't be able to be like, well, we couldn't get you for murder for protecting yourself, so we're gonna get you on a gun spec. No, motherfucker, it's just over with. I could see if he was out flailing a gun around and then shot somebody by accident. But if he was using the gun for self-defense and he wasn't supposed to have it, I don't need to be the boy don't need to be going to jail for 2 or 3 years for CCW when but there are plenty of black people you already know in jail for that. Where if the dude didn't have the gun, he'd be in the dirt right now. But he had a gun. He saved his life. But they didn't charge him with murder. No, what they do, they got him with a gun spec. He's doing 5 years for that.
Damn.
I mean, like, it's a guy named, I sit here and laugh because I've talked about him plenty of times. His name is D'Angelo. He's here in Cleveland. And he must have, don't you know how, like, when somebody sign up, then you got their number. This was one of the dude in jail I told you about that they charged to get him with a rape charge. And he wasn't there. And his cousin said that he was never there. But the state picked up charges and held him in jail for over 8 months. They tried to force the boy to take a plea. They kept continuing his case. And I remember I just came in and be a seller. The week he was supposed to, and I told him, I said, dude, man, your case sounds exactly like mine. And I said, if you're telling me the truth and there's nothing and you don't have nothing to sneak up in this, I would keep fighting your case, man. I said, no. I said, the reason why they keep doing it, he was like, man, they said I can sign this paperwork and I can do 14 more months and be out of here in 14 more months. And that's exactly what they try to do. Scare you into that. Or they'll keep continuing your case to keep you in there. Because I'm not going to lie. The worst thing about being in jail is not knowing a day that you're getting out. That fucks with you more than anything. That day could be 10 years from now, but knowing that date lifts a lot of stress off you. Because I know the first couple of days when I would go in for the child support or whatever, not knowing what day I was getting out, that made it, it felt like the stress and stuff that it put on you right nowadays. I'm not even going to lie. If someone said, do 6 months in jail, or take a gun and shoot yourself in the head, I take the gun. I take the bullet every day. I mean, like some people say, you just weak and that. But no offense, I'm too intelligent and being around all them dummies that just bothered the hell out of me. Because you would hear a lot of black men talk, and a lot of times you don't even talk to them, but you're in a big closed up area, so you hear their conversation. Even when you're not trying to pay attention, you can hear how stupid they are. And unfortunately, being around a lot of stupid or mentally people, that can drive you insane.
Royal class, black men should be fighting for him. They won't. That's why no one cares. They only fight women. Oh, here we go.
Okay, whatever. Well, what got me is the black men I saw on TV, and they're talking about no justice, no peace. No offense, Negroes. This case didn't have nothing to do with y'all.
Not
it
at
had
all.
nothing to do with black people in the first place.
Not at
Y'all
all.
motherfuckers just trying to pull race into every damn thing. And see, that's the reason why I took the name judge. I can take my feelings out. Now, my feelings would say, yeah, I would want the boy to at least get the gun spec because if he was black, he would have got it. But technically, in a real world and how it shouldn't be, nobody should be going to jail over a gun spec charge because they had a gun they wasn't supposed to have and it happened to save their life that day. I don't care. I think that's just like, well, what was the other choice? Be dead. You know what I mean? I had a gun. You know what I mean? But what was the other choice? The other choice was be dead.
Yeah. I mean, you know what I mean. Nobody doesn't want it. You don't want to die if we don't have to. you know.
Right. But well, I know because it's a, but it's a real bad thing because like I know, I don't want to say that. Y'all don't need to know that part. I've told a lot. I'll let that stay. Yeah. I got enemies online. I'd hate for.
Yeah. Well, we don't want to invoke the presence of I mean, with being in this manosphere, we invoke the presence of weirdos anyway. But
I mean
that's neither here nor there. But
right. But I know that I sit here and laugh because him having a gun spec charge, that could have been me. Or you have a weapon spec charge, could have been me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to know that, well, a person, he's like, well, he wasn't legally to carry that gun or legally to have that, but he had it that night, and it wasn't like he was out there flamboyant with it. It saved his life. And and a lot of people gonna hate me on this, but I say like this is, if I was getting pulled over by a cop, right, and say if I had a choice between the average white cop or could say cop, because Kyle, he was in a cadet, he was thinking about being a cop. I would rather be pulled over by him because the boy showed more restraint than most people would in that situation. I mean, he could have easily unloaded on plenty of people. That's another thing that helps his case. That shows he was not out there to take life. Because when all those people ran up saying that, they were trying to get other people to say, if you watch the video, listen to the people in the background yelling. Listen to what they're saying. Like if I told you, hey Ken, yeah, that's the dude right there that shot your daughter, and you had a gun, wouldn't you shoot me? They were trying to get him shot then. He didn't point the gun at none of the people. Like, no, I didn't do that shit. He just he fled. Now, anybody else, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, man, you was trying to get me off. You know what you was trying to do. You was trying to get me off right there over bullshit. That's what they were trying to do. He held his calm good, especially in a mob. Because you should already know if you ever get stomped by a mob of people, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna die. Because once they start hitting you, it's just that mob mentality kicks in. And 9 times out of 10, they wouldn't even go to jail after that because there's even I don't know what they call it, but there is a concept where they say like when the people are in a mob, they'll do stuff that they normally wouldn't do.
God damn,
If
that
they would have
sound
got,
like.
if they would have, that mob would have got on top of him, it would have been nothing left of him.
Hey, and let me ask you a question, Judge.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, like we understand like what the right thing is, and what was right in the case for Kyle Rittenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
But do we have to do
Unfortunately,
do
what
do
hurts
do
me.
do we have to sit there and just be like, oh God, like we should not do anything to this young man? Like, why
Well,
can't
this
we
is
just
what
more
this.
so stay out of it?
No, I'm gonna say it like this. This is what gets me when it comes to the whole thing. I wish that the justice system to me worked how it should work. I just wish it worked like that for us.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
At
mean,
the end
like
of the day,
I
yeah.
told everybody, if the justice system to me worked how it should work, he should have got off, and they should have charged him with nothing. I mean, worst case, you want to okay, fine. You charge him with the gun spec, but you give him probation. If you want to put something like that, should have got off. I agree with that. Should have got off. I was the first one that said that he was going to walk. I said it the second day that the videos were out there. I said, oh, he's walking. There's no fucking way in hell. There was literally, I found too much video evidence in 48 hours. Imagine what they would find with a month. I said, there's too many videos, and it was other people who were taking videos where Kyle didn't even know he was in those videos. So that shows that the boy wasn't hostile. And I said,
Man, we live in an age of technology, man, where people can just press a button on their cell phones and the video be right there.
right. And that's what I told everybody. I said, but see, like the first guy that he shot, he had multiple assaults on his girlfriend. Now we sit up here and say, "What? That didn't happen to that same day." Yeah, you're right. But he had just got out of jail. He just got out of nut house that morning for assaulting his girlfriend last week. Also, there's video of that same guy before he assaulted Kyle fighting with 2 other people, and bystanders had to hold him back then. So that shows he was aggressive. This is not the same. This not a week later. That same day, hours earlier. That shows what type of mind frame you was in. multiple times, multiple people had to stop him from fighting. He was trying to fight anyone. He was walking around with a chip on his shoulder looking for a fight. You know, like kind of I know y'all guys know I kind of like to fight. I already know if some shit go down that
And
most of the time people are gonna be like, if they know that's Judge, he probably wanted to fight anyway. You understand what I'm saying? They're gonna say that. I mean, if they came out and said that, I would have no defense. That's why anytime that and when I don't want to fight and I see that the shit going that way, I try to make sure that there are witnesses and plenty around because I have the reputation for fighting. Even like when something goes down in my family, yeah, well, right? They don't even listen. We don't care, Andre. You probably did it, and it was like, God damn, like they don't even listen because they know you. Oh, you like to fight, so you know.
yeah, yeah. Why, Donnie? He says, "Fuck that." He shouldn't have been there with a gun at all. Y'all got excuses for the cat that showed up with the intention of flexing this gun on niggas protesting for civil rights.
Okay, whatever, man.
Um, hmm. Yeah. Yeah. This is why I tried to ask the question about what the law was and what was his whole should he have been there with the gun or not and
Mhm. Well, a lot of people don't know he did have permission from, and he was with a group of adults. He did have permission from the car lots people from those two locations. That was released the first day. A lot of people, I think forgot about it because what happened is I remember that was released that day, and then the company said they decided, like, because even news tried to contact them, and they said we're going to leave no comment. They said that we've tried to speak to people in this, but the statement that they did give is that the people were there to just look after the place. And I mean, like I said, the guy didn't shoot the guy because he was trying to break in cars or shit like that. He didn't do it. He shot the guy because he was trying to attack him. I mean, like if you see like next time you watch a video of one of these scared ass cops and they scared shooting an unarmed black person in the car, watch how the dude is shaking and shit and all like that. I had to say, Kyle was in a worse state than that, and he wasn't shaking and scared as fucking shooting all these other innocent people.
man, but don't they tell the cops to do that at these conventions? Act like you're scared. Act, try to
I
try
guess.
to put it in the framing of I fear for my life, so you'll have a
Well,
better case when it
well,
comes up.
I'll say
I
like this:
mean,
is here's a question: would you rather be a guy? Would you rather be a cop pulling over a guy? I'd rather be a cop pulling over what's that cartel leader? I'd rather be Pablo Escobar than Kyle Rittenhouse on that day when them people were chasing him. I'd rather be a cop with me one on one with Pablo Escobar.
hmm,
I mean, like literally, because you already. I mean, you already knew. Uh, you already knew when if those people if they got their hands on him or whatever, he was dead. You already know.
I don't know. I just believe that someone. You know what? I believe that someone is mentally unsound when they run up on somebody with a weapon. Though.
Well, plain and simple. And to
I
me,
just.
I'm like this: if I come up and smack you upside the head with a 2x4, with a dude at skateboard, but you know what I mean, a 2x4, and you got a Tech 9, I mean, I'm evidently trying to kill you. I don't give a damn what people say. Well, they didn't have a gun. A skateboard can kill you. I mean, I can kill you with my hands. I mean, but you're attacking somebody with a gun. You didn't, I mean, to attack somebody with a gun, you must think that you're going to at least incapacitate them or kill them with a hit already. Because you already know that if you don't, the person's going to shoot you. So you are already trying to kill or incapacitate the person. You know, it's like that. No, the guy he shot in the hand was strapped. I don't believe the first guy had a gun. He didn't have a gun. He was a nutcase. He couldn't have owned a gun. Now, and maybe he had one. If he had one, he had one illegal. But he had just got out of the he had just got out of a mental hospital that morning. That morning. Not think about it. Not a week earlier. That morning. Now, if you people want to say this if and all this other shit, if his girlfriend would have allowed him to come to his house, he'd still be alive today. Now, if you want to say if, I know she's probably at home sitting there thinking that too. All I had to do was let him come over my house and he'd still be alive today. But instead, he was out on the street because he had nowhere to go.
Donnie, here's Donnie again. This is a white minor carrying a firearm to a civil rights protest. What's the point in carrying a firearm to be accounted for people holding signs?
Well, I ain't gonna lie. If I was going there, I just give an example. I'm a felon right now. If I was going to any type of protest, I would be carrying a strap. I'm sorry to say that. It's just too many crazy people out there. Cause see, this is the problem is you might need the strap because somebody could come out and just decide to kill all you peaceful protesters. I mean, that's what I mean. Ask the people who were sitting there watching Batman when the dude came in there, and people say, "Yeah, you need to be carrying your strap while you're sitting in the movie theater." When the dude came in the movie theater and shot all them people there,
Mm.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. Ask them. Ask them. Did they wish that they had they strap that day?
Mm.
I mean, you going to a place where people gonna be angry and stuff. All right, you right. I would want my strap. I don't give a damn what it. I don't care. I'm a felon. And I'm not supposed to have one. I would want my strap.
Mm. Oh, why Skinner Man Cave? What's going on, man? He said we need to tell our young black boys not to go to protest with a rifle because you might not make it back home.
Well, unfortunately, that's true because the black people is like they've done like experiments where they've had a white guy. They have the white guy wearing the exact same thing and the black guy wearing the exact same thing, and he walks down the street with an AR-15.
Well,
You
yeah,
know, and then they like right. You've seen those videos.
yeah,
The
I've
police
seen those
come out,
videos.
get on the ground. They yelling and screaming. They walk up, talk to them, shaking hands. How you doing? What kind of gun is that? You know what's so bad is they have the white guy have the gun on his front. The black guy, I have the gun strapped to his back, so he can't even reach it to shoot to pull it down and shoot you. And they're already yelling, "Scream! Get on the ground! This, that, and the other."
Yeah, I've watched that video several. Like I've
There's
watched several
plenty of
videos
video.
like that.
Yeah.
It's plenty of.
Just give an example. I recorded a video the other day because I already knew that it was going to come down. I recorded it. Maybe I need to show it to you. We showed it to you offline. But basically, what I did is this: I pulled up in a gas station and I pulled across the lines like I parked over there to check the oil in my car. Black dude comes banging on the window talking about you ain't parked right, yelling and screaming this, that, and that. I'm like trying to make a bill. I'm like, okay, we got parking lot police. Now he works at the gas station. So I walk in. Before I walk in, I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I knew he was gonna say something. So before I walked in the door, I just hit the button record on my phone and recorded the video. So I said, well, you realize there's a white woman over there parked the same way I am parked. I said, you want to go over there and be a parking lot police? Oh no, she's not parked over there. She's at parked by the air pump. I said, no, she's parked exactly. No, she's parked. I said, you didn't even go over there and look, dude. Why don't you go out there and look? She's parked the same way I was. I just wanted to see where you want to be parking lot police when it was him. So after the third time I said it, after you made three excuses for it, but that just goes to show. Before you even checked the information, you made three excuses for the woman, and you didn't look at all. So you see, I told him, I said, what's bad, brother, is you made three excuses for that white woman, and you didn't even look at all to see the information before you even saw what the situation was. You made three excuses in your head already. And I said the reason why I said I'm recording this. I got it on video. I said I just wanted to show you that unfortunately there is some bias that's underlined even in us. You don't think, oh, they could have done something wrong.
Okay, all right. I got a cash app that I have to call out. D Rock Den, thank you for the cash app. I appreciate the support. of the channel. Also, I got a cash app from Donnie, my my Bachelor Line Stepper brother, from YAS4W. Also, thank you very much. Thank you guys for the support of the channel. Like I said, it's $1, $2, $5. All of it helps. Really appreciate it, and I like coming to y'all each Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Um, to bring you these broadcasts. Uh, so, shoot, we're talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse. What if Kyle Rittenhouse was black? How how
he
how different things would have been for Kyle Rittenhouse, and basically,
had got the
generally
gun
talking
spec.
about the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. Me and Judge have been discussing this for a little bit, and
I
we
got a
feel the
question for
same
you,
on
Kevin.
certain things, and we feel different. But what's going on, man? What's
I
up?
got Here's a question for you. You're right. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black and say he got the gun spec charge, right?
Yeah.
Say he went through that and got the gun spec charge. What's so bad when you really think about it? What's really gonna hurt your feelings? Most of us, say he got 3 years for the gun spec charge. Most of us would be like, okay, that's okay, and we would take that and be like, cool. You understand what I'm saying? When you really sit up and think about it, it's really bullshit in a way. It's like we couldn't get you for that, so we're gonna give you 3 years for the gun spec. That's what you really should be mad about. But you understand what I'm saying? We would, as black people, we would accept a fucked up judgment like that against us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we would
I
have.
mean, we
Like I
would
said,
accept that and think that, oh yeah, he got it. What's so bad? Be yelling at him, talking about, no, your fault.
let me respond to this comment real quick. Medieval is evil. Why do blacks constantly pretend they are victims? Which I'm going ahead and assume that you're not black. Even rich blacks like Michelle Obama plus Kaepernick can't stop the BS narrative. If Kyle was black, he would have been part of the riot, burning and destroying society. Oh God,
Okay.
we got
Well,
one of these
just give an
motherfuckers,
example.
right?
I love how these people come out there, but they show
Oh
that it was
God,
more
hey
white
mods,
people
do what
burning
y'all want
shit
to with
down.
that one. I
But
mean,
look,
you got my
it was
permission.
white people burning shit down. It wasn't us. Now, if
Man,
you
dude,
said
he
if we were
shot
out
three
there,
white
look,
folks
if
acting
we
crazy. He
right,
shot three white folks acting crazy. God damn.
but no.
I
Now,
mean,
if you
and
said
then and then that's what
we'd have
that's
been
what
out
I'm
there
talking.
stealing shit off the shelves, I'd
No,
agree.
no, and then they use our image, they use our name. They say they always talk about some black folks doing this, black people doing that. And when in a lot of these cases, it's white people out there kind of
Right.
cause ruckus and trouble and putting that shit off on us.
Well, here's a question. Fire has never been a black person's like go-to thing. We don't like to burn shit down. Like we don't like to burn stores up. Now, if you said it was black people coming in the stores taking that, look, taking all the shit off the shelves, then I'd say we guilty of that. White people, y'all like fire. That ain't us. That's not.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Also,
mean,
Royal Class is obviously a female. I
yeah.
mean, the probably hangs out in these trigger spaces, and instead of talking to sisters about their embarrassing behavior on a week to week basis, she want to come and talk to the brothers about changing our situation in the eyes of white supremacy.
Well, I
Uh,
tell them all the time. Look, we can say no, but I'm gonna just tell you like this is. You women might be y'all think that y'all are doing so good now because y'all got degrees and all this shit. But I hate to say something, you still won't be better than you still won't be better than one of and then one and say a man that did high school. I
um,
said because see, this is the fact is this: black men had no support system. Now imagine being told you ain't shit, you ain't gonna grow up to be shit. Most black men, that's all you heard as a black man growing up. At least when you are a female, you hear that girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. You
I
don't hear,
mean,
I mean, like,
but let's
what
not.
positive things can think about this? Go, what positive things can you go back and say, I heard about being a black male makes me what? Like, you have to think hard.
I mean, the only thing positive ever said about us is the associations with like uh, culture as so far as our
Right.
athleticism, our contributions to
Mm-hmm.
entertainment. Then the stereotypical physical traits. Those are the like the only thing
That's about it.
closest too
That's about it.
positive. I
But but
mean,
but
you know,
black
they
women
don't
have
put the.
all those things and more.
I mean, black people got everything everybody else have. It's what you're being fed by the media.
Yeah.
If you don't think that there are black men out there that are doing well for their communities and they are successful and they are taking care of their families, then you have bought into the narrative of WS.
Hmm.
And that's all there is to it. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not going to spend too much time on this person because they did say one thing accurate: facts over feelings, which is correct. But I wish that, people like her and her sisterhood would adopt that same philosophy, facts over feelings, because it's mostly feelings and emotions with them. And I'm not saying that it's not supposed to be that way with them. I fully expect it. I don't hate sisters. I don't sit up there and fight sisters. In fact, I do understand and believe that it's more the sisters trying to fight us.
Oh
It ain't
wow.
it
Yeah.
ain't it ain't really us trying to fight the sisters. It's the
I
sisters
love
trying.
listen to this royal class. Black men have torn women down in music for 20 years.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
now they
here's the
control.
question. Look, look,
Now,
look.
now, now, now they
Now
got
wait, wait,
Megan Thee
wait.
Stallion.
I got
Dude,
answer.
I'm not, dude.
Go ahead.
Let's not spend too much time on this person, though. But
Oh,
go
okay.
ahead.
Yeah, I said okay. In music, you got that are explicit content, so you got to go find that shit. Women have torn black men down on everything. You can't get away from it.
Yeah,
I mean, not every channel. I mean, like, think about it. We're like when you sit up here and say we got to go back to shows, and we can only name 5 or 6 shows where a black man was actually a stand-up dude. They were never good black role models. Like we all go back to the same basic ones: Cosby, the father from Family Time. I mean, from Family Matters. I mean, we go back to the same ones. But damn near every TV show, there's always a good black woman somewhere, or a good woman somewhere. Always. You can't. I mean, like that is in all
well,
shows.
yeah. We understand what the media has done,
Yeah.
and
Right.
when people buy into the media, that's what you get.
Right.
You get people like uh, whatever her name is. I already forgot. I'll just say that. See, what's up, Stoic One? But yeah, and while y'all down there in the chat, y'all dishing out facts, people like Royal Class don't care. They don't care. They just want black men to shut up and get on their page and everything to go back to the way things were, as in us not being able to just speak. I mean, they always talk about this whole thing that that they have power to control us if we respond. I mean, looks like we're controlling them.
Thank you.
I mean, shit.
Especially
This is a conversation about a white guy that got off,
right. At least
for
what?
killing folks, and we a lot of us act like we don't understand that there's a certain level of white privilege that goes with that.
We know that. Right.
Me as a black, and this whole thing about people saying that black men and black people are playing victim and everything. Hey, that ain't all of us now. We do
Right.
understand that they put that victimhood narrative out there, but at the same time, it ain't victimhood if it's actual shit that's wrong. I
Right.
mean, I'm not just gonna let you sit here and fuck with me, and then I can't say anything about it, or I can't
Thank
do anything about it. Fuck you. Like you're in for a fight. That's not me
you.
being a victim. That's me being pissed off and retaliating.
Hmm.
Don't believe that I'm just gonna sit here and complain about what you're doing to me. I'm gonna do something back, and that's just all there is to it. Y'all keep repeating this BS. You keep repeating you keep repeating this little BS. And what did Royal Class do in the chat? She immediately defaulted to her father. It's like we hate our moms for talking about this, but oh, you love your dads for talking about us. That's dumb. And and unfortunately, there are a bunch of dumb motherfuckers out there. It's just
I
the
just
way it
pissed her
is.
off
So,
now. I just
so
pissed her off. Watch that comment. Look at that comment. I just typed. She
it's
said, "Go
all
back." She
good,
said, I
man.
grew up hearing bitches ain't shit but holes and tricks." I said, "Because they are." Now that upsets you.
I mean,
Now,
now we're trying to take the conversation to rap music.
no, right. Now we're going back to
Fuck
what we
out of
were
here.
just right,
Fuck that.
right.
No,
But I
I'm
just
not
think that
finna
it
do
pissed her
the
off.
I'm not
Yeah, I
finna do
pissed
the
her off.
rap music. I'm not finna do the black men killing each other because then it'll lead. That's a slippery slope, and then we're off purpose on the. It's like that conversation I tried to have about Emmett Till, but there was a
Hmm.
certain person that kept trying to throw it into something else and not
Hmm.
exactly talking about Emmett Till. We
Right.
have got to stop doing this on these channels. Let's not let people take us off our
Yeah.
purpose,
Yeah.
especially someone who claims to be black. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Kyle Rittenhouse. I like how you put that picture. If Kyle Rittenhouse was black, yeah, he'd have had a gun spec. You'd have had that. That's why you looking in that. That's the right picture. You'd like, huh? Yeah, you'd have had a gun spec charge, buddy. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I would have hoped you wouldn't. In a perfect world, you shouldn't, but you'd have had a gun spec charge
Yeah, man.
all day.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing. But here's the thing, Judge. I think that I've made enough of my point. I think it's about time to put this broadcast to bed. Because it's like this, people. It's like this. We know what the deal is, and we got to stop playing stupid. Now, as far as what we do since it's brought up, since what we do to change this as black men, I believe that we have to start with not giving a fuck about what white people think. Why the fuck would I want? Like, their minds are made up. Period. Like, why the fuck am I begging them to change their goddamn minds? Black men need to change the way they view. Okay, great, awesome. Here's how we do that. Why don't you get in line, black woman? Like, just get in fucking line, because there's obviously no way we can convince you guys either.
Right. Right. Get
Period.
it
I
up.
mean, shit.
Yeah.
Why don't you stay on the fucking white boy? How about that? This is what I get so fucking tired of with our people. Stay on the white guy. It's okay to kind of berate him a little bit, talk about his little ugly crying face, regardless of what's right and what's wrong. Shit, a lot of people acted like they didn't even want to make fun of that. They kept bringing up to me, "Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse not guilty. Kyle Rittenhouse a hero." You know what I'm saying? And then the fact of the matter is, when you start having people talk like that, that shows their lack of empathy for a black man's situation. I'm not sitting up here victimizing and trying to whine on behalf of what if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, because guess what? At the end of the day, black Kyle Rittenhouse does not exist.
Right.
This is me speaking from a perspective of what
Right.
I know. Now, like if I'm running down the street with a firearm in front of some white cops, I might as well tell them good. I might as well call my mother and tell her goodbye. Call
Right.
my daddy, tell him goodbye, because
Right.
that's what it is. Ain't
Right.
nobody sitting up there like, "Oh, woe is me. If I was running down the street with a gun, shit, I wouldn't have been as lucky as Kyle Rittenhouse." We just know what the facts are.
Right. We know that. I mean,
Now,
that's
now,
all.
now, now, all this caping, a lot of these fair-minded black people are doing for Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't get it. I don't. I mean, shit. It's like, regardless of the right thing, why are you caping for the guy? Not you in particular, Judge, but there's a lot of
Right.
people
Right.
out there doing it. They'll never cape for us. Shit,
I,
how many times have black people been in possession of firearms, perfectly legal, and shit happened to us anyway? Have their groups
thank
come
you.
forward for us? No, they
Nope.
haven't. Period.
Mm-mm.
So why are we being such fair-minded Negroes?
Right.
Why? Why
Right.
are we being
I
such
mean, look,
fair-minded?
we like well, plain and simple. Is I mean, we already. This is the thing, especially as black men, we have been born and raised, and if we had any black men around us or anybody that really cared about us while we were growing up, they told us, well, yeah, this is how it's supposed to work. But you're a black man, so you have to watch out for this. Like literally, like when you hear those comedians talk about it and say, "Well, yeah, the world's supposed to work this way, but son, you're black, so you got to be careful to not do this, or come off this type of way, because that can mean your life over a technicality." I mean, that's something that most black men have been brought up, and by the time you get 18, you've heard it from
And
somewhere. You know, somebody
yeah,
told you.
yeah, yeah.
What? You
Yeah,
got to conduct yourself a certain way because you're a black man
let
already.
me restore one's comment. He says, "Why should I care what another set of people think of me? My purpose is just to progress." And he said, "I already know that being black does not mean inherently inferior. I mean, when you got,
Right.
I mean, it's like not even with people within your own group. No, don't take it from them.
Well, I sit there and laugh. I've never felt inferior because I was black. I just figured that it was just like basically, that they just figure said, well, it was like just basically is you already know if you're a black person, you're just going to be hated on. That's all. That's the best way to put it. You're going to expect a lot more hate, and for a lot of dumb reasons that are beyond your control. And once you realize that some things you can't control, a lot of it you'll just let bounce off your back because you got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah, my recommendation to black, but here's a true recommendation to black men: just fortify where you're at. Fortify where you're at, and keep up the keep our communication open, the lines of communication open between us. So if you're doing something that works, maybe I could try it over here and see if it works for us. Try like take the building mentality and make it into something that is actually tangible and beneficial. You
Mm.
know,
I hate to say I give Roger, even though I hate to agree with him on that. If it was black, he would have been dead. He would have never made it to the police department. I hate to say, and what's so bad, I hate to agree that that's true because basically all it takes, like if 50 people were out there yelling, he just shot somebody. Even though he shot the person in self defense, that dude would probably be dead if he's a black person off rip. The cops would have shot him on sight.
all right. The Roger report. Thank you for the super chat. Said he was black, he would have been dead. He would never have made it to the police station alive. Which is I've been saying this in the entire broadcast. Ain't no
Yeah.
way. Ain't no way.
When the
Okay.
people chasing
And
him, yelling, he think about it. If he picture him being black after he shot the first guy, and then people were chasing. No, matter of fact, two. Then people were chasing him, yelling, he shot somebody. And then during the time, the people hit him, and he shot them. Then, like picture if the police saw. Say they say he shot somebody, and the police see him running as a black guy, and then the guy hits him with a skateboard, and he shoots the guy with the skateboard. The police would have shot him just for shooting the guy with the skateboard that clocked him upside the head. If he was black, they would have shot him just for that.
yeah. Okay.
I
Hey,
will say
Arvin,
that.
hey, hey,
He
hey,
got shot for that.
hey, man, you see royal class down here in the chat, man. Like this is what I don't get. Is like y'all complain about black men speaking. Y'all complain about black men trying to encourage this gender war bull crap. This was not even a gender war conversation.
Yep.
It
I,
wasn't. This
the bitch
this
needed
this this discussion was
the
actually a
bitch needed some
rebuttal.
attention.
No,
Okay,
yeah, I
nobody.
get that. I get it. I get it. I get it.
Look,
All
look,
that, all that in
look.
the bag of
Nobody.
goddamn
Look.
chips.
Right, she did. She's hit the wall. She's ugly as all get out.
Okay, man. Hey, Dre. Yeah, I don't know what she looks like. Okay,
Well,
I
I
don't know.
get it.
I don't know what she looks like. She could be a dime.
No,
Cause I
she's
mean,
a, she, she's a dime. Yeah,
I
that
mean, a
ran
dime
over.
as far as looks. I mean, I've seen a couple of those too. But
She's not a nine. She's
but
not a
then
nine.
Roger was up here. What's going on?
She's not a dime. Trust me, if she was a dime, she would have showed her face.
Nah, I mean, well,
Like, think about it.
don't do that.
She's in a chat room begging for fucking attention. Think
Yeah, I
about it.
mean,
If
but
she was a
like,
dime, she would have shown her face
dude,
because she would have want more attention.
bruh, bruh, I get that, I get it, but she's obvious, just like a lot of these women in this space. She got a chip on her fucking shoulder. Now,
No,
despite
she
that,
doesn't.
all of that, and
She
regardless of
ate
all,
it.
and regardless of all of that, hey, you know what? She speaks like anyone else.
She doesn't
She
have a chip
decided
on
to.
her shoulder,
At
Kevin.
least, she's helping the algorithm. That's all I'll say. That.
But Kevin, she ate the chip. There's no chip on her shoulder. Okay. She said, "Ooh, potato chip."
Hey. All right.
She
Well,
ate the chip off of everybody's shoulder.
yeah. All right, but let me give Roger a couple more minutes to like Roger had something to say. Probably having a couple technical difficulties or what, which happens with these broadcasts because StreamYards isn't foolproof. So
It don't like iPhones. StreamYards does not like iPhones whatsoever.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
that's
hate to
still
say I went to two
when you
iPhones.
work on
I,
when you work on perfecting a product, you know, or at least trying to. Uh, that's what
you would
happens.
think the StreamYards will work well on the iPhone. That's like the most popular phone. It works horrible.
Shit, I don't know, man. I'm an Android guy myself.
Well, I prefer Android. I got the iPhone because I thought it was gonna be good for business.
But okay. Hey,
Because
Roger,
a
you.
lot
Hey,
of the people, in the homes when we were doing these demos and stuff
hey.
like you don't have FaceTime. I'm like, can't you just show it to me? It's like, no, I'm not downloading no app on my phone.
Hey, but anyway, for everyone, for everyone who was watching tonight, even Royal Class, and for the ones who usually check in here, I appreciate you stopping by. For real, for real. And yes, black man, I do agree that we do have to visit our situation. We do, but we have to be the ones to determine what the context of those conversations are going to be about. See, when other people try to tell us what that conversation should be, is never anything that is directly beneficial for black men. Never. It's always this BS. Uh, she said, I heard Ramil say, "Hey, don't be bringing other people's names up in this motherfucker, especially if they have not been here." Shit. Like damn, these little passive aggressive broadcasts that everybody does, where they never say any names. So don't
Mhm.
bring them fucking names over here. Let them
Right.
motherfuckers do them. I mean,
And you,
I would say in the chat, hey, just kind of like I'm not trying to promote other content creators here. I'm too busy worried about building this motherfucker up. Let whoever you just talked about, let him do him, and I'm out of that situation.
you
Period.
think
I don't give a damn about that situation. It is what it is because at the end of the day, the content creators don't choose, the people do. So
Kevin think he's all that in a bag of chips.
you goddamn right. If I don't, who will? Shoot. So, but I mean, uh,
You might be a judge. I doubt that.
and I mean, you could be anything. You could be Casper the friendly fucking ghost. I mean, shoot, all of that's a possibility. But anyway, I'm finished with this broadcast. But I will put Hybrid's comment up there. Stoic one, black men must now be selfish. I agree. Um, hybrid catastrophic impact 80 x 83rd power. Black men are living their lives and staying on their purpose. Women are the ones getting depressed when they get close to the middle age with no husband. Hey man, look, okay, okay, all right. Uh, Black man. At the end of the day, we got to make the best decisions for ourselves. We got to make the best situations for ourselves, even on the individual level, because it's like I like to speak of unity, but it's like it seems like we have some unity problems right now. Oh, there's Roger. Roger, what's going on?
What's up, kid? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's going on, Roger?
Not much, not much, man. I didn't catch the broadcast from the beginning, so I guess you ascertained what's kind of obvious that if Kyle Rittenhouse was black, number one, he would be dead if he showed up with a gun in the first place. But if he was black, I doubt he showed up with a gun.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Uh, and plus, if he was black, yeah, he would have been hit with every charge in the book. No way they let him. No way
So
they
you don't
let
think
him walk away without having gun charges. and something for crossing the state line with a gun.
Okay.
You
So
know, and his daddy would have went down too, because I
what
believe
about
his
the murder
dad was there.
charge?
And
What you
if his
think? If he
dad
was black,
was there, they're not gonna let that dude um, take his son across state line, use a firearm illegally, and be okay. That wasn't gonna happen at all. So they
I
got them
believe.
two for the price of one. That's what I
I'm
seriously
asking.
believe.
I'm asking you this, Roger, because you weren't here. So, do you believe if he would have been black, he would have got a murder charge too? Did he fade out?
No, you're on mute, Roger. Roger, you're on mute.
So you didn't hear nothing I just said?
No, I didn't. That's
We
why I
can hear
was
you
asking.
now.
Okay. What I was saying was that if if Cal was black, number one, he'd have never shown up to the protest with the gun in the first place.
We heard all
That
that
wasn't
part.
gonna happen. Number two, if he was dumb enough to show up to the protest with a gun, uh, well, he did have killed him the first time he got seen by police officers in the first place. He'd already had a conversation because Cal had a conversation before he even kind of made it toward the protest, from my understanding.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So he'd have never made it to the protest. You know, gun would have definitely been took. Now, if Cal would have got to the point where he got to the crowd and actually killed somebody, not only would he be going to a prison, or maybe juvenile hall until he gets put in prison. However they do that when you are still under 18. However they do that,
Right.
he would have been going, and his dad would have been going, because wasn't Cal's father with him there too? So if his black daddy would have been there, his black daddy going to prison too.
Damn.
And he gonna have a possession charge. He's gonna have some type of charge about crossing state line with a firearm illegally.
Right. What
And
about
his
murder?
daddy would have had the same thing going on about. His daddy probably would have been slapped with endangerment, child endangerment, trying to start a riot of some kind. It'd been all kind of mess. But they not gonna let them two dudes go to a protest and kill people and keep their gun and they black. That's not gonna happen.
All
It's
right.
not gonna happen. You're dead.
All right. What about?
And
Well,
if
I'm
you can
asking
actually
about the
get to the
murder
crowd
charge.
and you actually kill somebody, you're going to prison. And truth be told, black folks probably would have went down for murder.
Right. That's what I asked. So you saying if he was black, he'd have went down for murder?
Am I being heard?
I'm asking. Yeah, I don't think I'm being heard. I can hear you, but I'm saying. So So I agree. You're saying that if he was black, you think he would have went down for murder? If you're talking, we don't hear you now.
Okay. Y'all can't hear me?
Now we can hear you.
Hey, Roger, you got yourself on mute, man.
Low budget wireless.
No, I muted because nobody was responding. So I'm assuming y'all can't hear me.
No, we can't.
My sound must have been going out. Something. But I was saying that
We
if
heard
Kyle
that
was
part.
black, number one, he wasn't gonna make
We
it to
said-
that protest alive because Kyle was approached
You done
before he
repeated
got
that
to the
3
protest. Number two, if you let him even get to the protest alive, if he's with his father, he's going down for illegal gun possession. His father's going down for endangerment of a minor, and probably some type of charge about allowing a minor to use a firearm in public without a license of some kind. I don't know what the charge would be, but I'm sure there's got to be a charge for something like that. Probably, another charge for crossing the state line. Then there's going to be a murder would probably stick if he was black. They would have said he murdered the guy because he shouldn't have been there with a gun in the first place, and people would have just accepted that. Why would you go Why would you go there with a gun if your intent wasn't to murder? See, if you black and you show up with the gun, your intent is automatically to murder. All that video stuff don't even make no difference because The court case is supposed to be about what actually happened, not about your personality and what do we think about you as a person. If he was black, it'd have been simple and easy. He showed up with the gun. He's guilty. That's simple.
Okay.
Do y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay. Well, are y'all hearing me?
Yes.
Yes,
Evidently,
Roger.
you're having problems.
We got you. No, no. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and agree with Roger. I mean, but Roger. So let me ask you this: are you saying that Kyle Rittenhouse got special treatment at the end of the day?
No, I won't say it's special treatment. It's white treatment.
Okay.
White.
Just give an example.
Special means not too many people can get it.
Okay.
A
I'm gonna
bunch
tell
of
you
white
like
folks
this.
can get that treatment.
I'm gonna tell you like this. This is what I think. I don't think that Kyle Rittenhouse got actually special treatment when it
Well,
came to the overall details
uh,
of the case.
and I
Now,
disagree with Judge
can
about
I finish?
that's how
God
things are
damn!
supposed to work. If it worked
Right.
like it was
That's
supposed
how
to,
it's
he would have
supposed
went
to
down
work,
for gun
but it don't
charges
work
because
like
he
that
had
for
a gun.
us.
They got him on
Right.
camera with the gun.
Right. But this is my thing. It
It's
doesn't
on
work like
camera.
that. It should. It
He
should.
black. Ain't nowhere in the
Everybody
world you
should.
beating that charge.
Right. Everybody should get. It should work
Ain't
like
enough
that
Boy
for
Scout in the
everybody.
world to get rid of that charge.
Right. I was just surprised. I'm glad that they didn't hit him with the gun spec
You
because
know,
he got the
what?
rest of this
And
shit.
Kyle was already training too, so he's already in training to kill people, wasn't he?
He said what?
Wasn't Trout doing some type of training with
Kyle was
guns?
he was in the junior cadets program. He had been in the because he was going to be. He didn't know that he wanted to be a police officer.
Is Judge
He was
still here?
actually. Can you hear me?
Can I not? Maybe I can't hear Judge. Is he here?
I hear Judge fine.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
you.
yeah. I'm gonna get dip out and come right back.
I was
Be on the
wondering why
lookout
this
for me.
nigga never answered my question. I thought he was being
Uh,
bullshitting. The wrong report.
all right. Well, go ahead, Judge. Continue.
But yeah, I agree. To me, I think the system worked how it should. Unfortunately, the system should work like that too when it's one of us on the trial. That's the bad thing. The system worked how it should. He wasn't guilty of the crime. Don't it's like this. So what? You try to get the dude for murder. So don't sit here and be like, well, we're gonna give you a consolation charge. Oh, since we couldn't get you for that, we're gonna get you with a gun spec. You drove your gun over here and didn't do that. And just because of that, we're gonna give you the maximum amount on that sentence, which is 8 years, which is the same as murder. You know what I mean? They would have done some bullshit like that. But it's just bad. It's sad that the system doesn't work like that for everybody.
Well, shit. Well, yeah, it's sad that the system doesn't work like that for everybody, but it's a reality, man.
Yes,
It's
of
just
course
it
it's a
is what it
reality.
is.
Right.
Let me take that. Let me thank the Roger report. Roger's having some technical difficulties, so thanks for offering your commentary. But it's just he's having difficulties that he can't gift us with his presence right now. But
Bullshit.
yeah,
He didn't pay his internet bill.
I
They cut
guess
his bandwidth.
said he got the foot on his neck. But Judge, you have anything else you'd like to say because I'm finna cut it.
No, that'd be all.
hmm
I ain't talking enough.
I'm about to cut it, and I'll just say this. Look, let's just move on from this, and let's try to sit there and make the best way for ourselves. At the end of the day, thank you, Judge, for your insightful commentary as usual, and thank you to the Roger Report as well. But yeah, just go back and watch this broadcast, from the beginning if you haven't. But and also if you haven't, please hit that like button before you check out. That's it for now. Long live the habitual line steppers. And Kev, we trust. See you guys next time.